All right, good morning. This is Al, Poker with Alex, and on my way to go pay this gas bill this morning. I got a 26 Z71 Tahoe, so I'm about to go over here and do my weekly ritual. And let's go ahead and gas up Big Bertha for the week. Right now, gas looks like it's about 376 down here in Texas. So gonna go ahead and do that and get it behind me. Get it behind me. But how y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing okay, man. Like I said, about to go up here and gas up. And we're gonna talk a little bit about poker while I'm on my way to get that done. I had a scenario the other day when I was on the poker table, and this was playing PLO bomb pots. Anybody not familiar with PLO bomb pots? That is when you get 2 boards, 4 cards, and pretty much you're supposed to try to make sure that you got opportunity for both boards, right? Whenever you're doing, which was the case that took place for me the other day. So today is Sunday. I want to say this probably was Wednesday when this happened. I went in the evening time and it was a shootout. You had players that, you know, they free rolling. They like I said before, man, these guys, they come in the evening and poker goes all out the window for the most part when a lot of these guys sit down. It's not even about poker. It's really just about guys trying to get money quick. If they see the price is right on the table, they go for it. And, you know, it can make a bad day for poker if you are a player that look for the best opportunities to make sure that you're going to be a winner. So anyway, we're in this PLO bomb pot. And I get a set of 10s with 2 diamonds. So I got a pair of 10s in my hand. I got a 10 on the top board. I got opportunity for the bottom board with the flush. So I decided to go ahead and get in there, and I check like I'm supposed to. Hold on. Got to the gas station a little bit faster than I expected. All right, so I'm back, and it took me $66.72 to fill her up. She was just at a quarter of a tank and said I'll go ahead and fill her up for the week. I got a second vehicle, so I don't plan on driving this one as much, and I plan on getting some fishing in, so I don't even know when the next time I may even be getting behind the wheel of her right now because gas prices are just so out the roof. And it is what it is. But where was I? I was talking about that bomb pot. And yeah, man, I had a pair of 10s in my hand with something else for a flush. I think I had a queen high opportunity flush, top and bottom board. So, of course, the betting started, and we checked the first round. No, I take that back. They started betting on the flop because we got a turn and a river out the deal. So it comes around, I got the 10. There's like a 6 and something else. There's nothing connecting where I have to worry about somebody getting a straight. So people are betting. And when it got around to me, I think they started betting 40. Now, I could have done that and just called the 40. But the way I seen it was I got flush opportunity, and maybe my flush will hold up because there's diamonds on top and bottom, right? So I'm thinking we got 9 players that got dealt cards. I'm looking at the, what's the word we use in math? I can't think of it, but it starts with the P. And anyway, I'm thinking like that. So I'm looking at it on that aspect that 9 players, there's 13 diamonds in the deck. 4 of them are already on the board. I got 2, so that makes 6. And I go ahead, when it gets to me, I make it 150. I think I told this story already. And my guy next to me, yeah, I think I told this story, but I'm telling it anyway again, because this is leading up to where I'm going with this. So He said, well, I can't fold, right? And when he said that, I'm wondering now, what does he have? I'm hoping he got the bottom board because I know I got top set. I got top set. I got a pair of 10s, so I know I got top set. He can only have one with a 10, right? So he can have a pair of 10s, but he can't have top set, right? If he has no, even if he has a 10, that's it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. He got the fourth 10. So he goes all in, and the other two players behind him, they both call as well. Well, when it gets to me, I'm like, well, I'm already in the lead with top set. So I go ahead and I call it. Everybody turned their hands over. And I kid you not, I counted at least close to 10, maybe 11 diamonds. Everybody had diamonds, just about, in their hand. So I'm like, what are the odds that a diamond is going to come out on the top board? If it hits the bottom board, great. But I needed to miss the top board because I'm good. All I need is to dodge the diamond. Wrong. Man, that dealer spiked that diamond on a turn and a queen on the river, right? So I don't have a boat. And my guy that was next to me, he was on a flush draw for the diamond. And it came on the top board for him. So that canceled me out. Even though I had opportunity for both boards, when that diamond went to the top and everybody had already had diamonds in their hand, all my outs went out the building. And that is how I had got stopped in my run, and I had to go do a rebuy behind that. Now, where else I'm going with this, that was just a story, a true story that took place. But where else I'm going with this is, when you are playing poker, right, and you have to have a rule, a guideline for your way of playing. If you are playing poker, by the definition of what we say poker is, then you on the right track of being a solid player. But if you are playing poker because the word and the game exists, but you don't really have no true definition of the game, everybody knows you. When you come in, everybody know who you are. They know you're the raiser. No matter what you got in your hand, if you're first to act, if you're last to act, if you're in the middle, if you're next, whatever, you always raise. Everybody know who you are. And for some reason, you get a rush and a kick out of that because you make silly smirks on your face, right? And you're humoring yourself. I mean, these guys, they actually humor themselves. Whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter to them. I don't understand their psyche, but this is what they do. So yesterday, my wife went and played, and she did pretty good. She got 100 and something up for the reason that I'm talking about. Because when the person showed up, she knows who he is, and she said the name, and I said, oh Lord, let me guess, he got you. And she said, no, I held on. I did my thing. Apparently, my hands held up against the BS that he brings to the table. But there was an older gentleman that was playing, and I don't know if he knew him or not, right? Because I've never seen them two at the table together. I know both of them, and I either get one, but I've never got both of them at the table with me. But this is why I said I admire the guy's resilience to what he did not want to transpire while he's playing poker. He's trying to enjoy the game. He's trying to play a gentleman's game of poker. And here it is, you got this guy coming in, and I call them disruptors. They just come in and they just do whatever, man. They just disrupt the whole mood of poker. And if you mature, like we are, majority of us, man, we're 60. Some of the guys are older than me. Some of the guys are a little bit younger than me. But for the most part, when we're playing, we have a gentleman's game of poker. And when these guys come in, I said, oh Lord, here come the disruptors. They supposed to come in the evening. They ain't supposed to come in the morning session. They supposed to come in the evening session, not the morning. The evening session is when everybody's coming in and just buck wild go to OK Corral type of poker playing. So anyway, he came in the morning. So my wife's hands, they held up. But going back to the older guy who's just there to play the game of poker, he just said, cash me out. He doesn't live far from the room, so it didn't hurt him. He didn't travel out of town or nothing like that. He just got up and he told my wife, my wife said, yeah, we kind of looked at each other, right? Because my wife, she plays a solid game as well. And she said, yeah, we looked at each other and he said, cash me out. And he just said, I can't play like this. And he got up from the table. And the reason why he got up from the table was because of the guy spiking and raising every hand, no matter what he has. And when I say this is true, whenever this guy shows up, man, he does this. He raises pre-flop. He calls. You can have aces. You can have kings. You can make it 50. You can make it 75. He can have a 4-7, a 4-9, a 5 queen, whatever. He's not folding. He calls basically every hand that comes in. And if you ask him his reason, he'll tell you, any 2 cards play. It doesn't matter what you got in your hand. This is what these people feel. There are a lot of players that feel that way. When I've heard them say this. They said, it don't matter what you got in your hand. When that card, if I don't fold, then I have opportunity to win. That is the way they look at it. And they say, you cannot win if you fold. You cannot. Hey, is that true? Yes. You cannot win if you fold. It's like the lottery. You can't win the lottery if you don't play the lottery. But at the same time, how many losses are you going to take calling just because you feel you can't win if you don't fold? If you fold, you can't win. I'm sorry. If you fold, you can't win. So how many hands is it going to take for you to realize that? Apparently a lot, because we all see them. I call it dead man walking. When they have to walk to the ATM or they have to reach back in their pocket and reach for the more chips. And no matter how much money they bring back out, it don't matter. If they want to continue playing like that, hey, if you got the chips to handle their strategy, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the winner, right? All you have to do is be patient. Wait for these guys to do what they do. You don't have to bet. You don't have to call anything. If you don't have a strong hand that has real opportunity to have success, then you just fold, right? Or you can do like my guy. He probably wasn't getting any hands anyway. That's the way I'm figuring it, because a lot of times when these players come on the table, you want them there, right? You want them there because you're going to have more advantage than disadvantage against them. I don't care if they keep calling or whatever. They can keep calling whatever hand they want to call. If you got pocket aces, kings, ace king, ace queen, any kind of card that has value to it, and those boards hit, you're going to win a major pot because they don't know any better. To them, like they say, it doesn't matter until that board hits, right? When that board hits, I have opportunity to beat you. That is what they feel. But that is what happens when you get these guys on the table. And for the most part, you want them there. You don't mind them being there. You just have to be patient and you have to wait them out. And when you get these type of players on the table, you don't want to get into a shootout with them, right? You don't want to just, right? Because you get guys on the table where you have 3 or 4 of them at the same time. And these guys will get it all in. They don't care. They'll sit there and tell you how many times you want to run it. That is one of the things they do as well. But he doesn't do that. He's one time. He's going one time and that's it. He ain't trying to run it twice. He's trying to get paid. Either he's going to lose big or he's going to win big. That's his strategy. And like he says, any cards play, right? But you just want to make sure that being said, you want to make sure that the hand that you have is the hand that makes sense, right? And you wind up being the victor, right? The other night when we were playing, like I said, I just ran into some bad luck. I was up and I should have left, right? Because I got my quota, but man, it was so much money in the building. And that is one of the biggest reasons that a lot of players run into problems when they're on the poker table, especially when you're playing a cash game, because that's just it. There's cash in the building. Not tournaments. Tournament don't mean anything. A tournament means if you're the last man standing, then you're going to win cash. But when you're playing cash games, big difference. Those chips that are in front of players, it's cash. It's all money that they take to the window, and if they're done, they cash out. So that is all cash when you're in the cash game. Tournament, different. They can have $1 million worth of chips in front of them, and it doesn't matter. They can't take that to the window and say, cash me out, right? You got to play until the end and hope you be the victory. Hope you be the victor. But a lot of times when you're in a cash game room, it is hard to leave, especially when you have fish sitting at the table. When you have these guys sitting at the table, man, it is hard to leave. But I'm going to tell you this, if you have a quota and you have a number that once you reach it, hey, stick to your guns and get up out of there. Don't be that story where somebody sit there and say, man, you won't believe what happened. I was up, right? And then I got aces. And I got into this hand with these guys, man. And I should have known better because they don't fold. And so what do? I take 200, thinking I'm finna kill it because they all came in betting 20s and 30s. And I put 200 out there thinking they're going to fold. Next thing I know, I get called by two other players. And guess what? Guy with a 10 jack hits a straight, right? Hits the straight, takes me down 200 plus. So I should have got up out of there when I was supposed to. And that is what's real when you're on the poker table. When you reach that quota, man, you just have to say, if you're going to stay solid, always remember that there's tomorrow and you can always get it back, right? You can always get it back some more the next day. Just add it up. It doesn't mean that you have to get it all in one swoop. We want to. Wish poker was like that, but it's not. In so many ways, it's not. You got good days where as soon as you sit down, you can get 5 hands in a row that will put you over 1,000 plus quick, right? Because you just kept getting the good cards. And I've had runs like that where I've ran into aces back to back, ace king, ace queen, and it just so happened the boards hit. I've seen players do that when they do the same thing. We've all witnessed it. But for the most part in poker, it just doesn't pan out that way. It usually takes time. And that's what you have to realize. You're not going to walk in and walk out of there every day. Some days you can be sitting there from the morning, the minute you guys get going, and you may not leave out of there till about 4 or 5 hours later. And it may have took you 2 to 3 hours before you got a real hand to play with. But if you did everything right and you didn't just make these foolish calls that was costing you money, then it just took them 1 or 2 hands to get that money that you were looking for. It's just slow. It just took a while, and that happens. But anyway, man, these are just my thoughts on a poker game that I'm sharing. I don't know if I'm going to play today. Like I said, I haven't played since probably Wednesday. I went and played Wednesday, and I didn't play Thursday, Friday. I didn't play yesterday. My wife, she's been doing pretty good. She's been going up there, but I took a break. I've been getting fishing in and pretty much just getting some other affairs taken care of as far as that goes. I don't want to get caught up that I miss out on my responsibilities of what I'm supposed to be doing. I never let that game control me. I always control it. It doesn't control me. So even though it's close by me, it doesn't make me get that itch that I need to get up there and play. If I got something I need to get taken care of, you best believe that poker goes on the back burner. So with that said, I'm out. If y'all out there playing, man, try to play responsibly. Try to be responsible. That way you can get better wins, make better decisions, and get better in your game. Get better in your game, because that's what it's all about. That's what we try to do in the poker world. With that said, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Peace.